Welcome back, Fantasy Moto fans, to the PulpMX Fantasy Show. I'm Donnie from RotoMoto, and in this video I have 5 riders I want you to look at when making your picks for the second round of Pro Motocross, tips for the FFL, weather report, race day schedule, and an early look at what my team could be come Saturday night. And stick around to the end to find out how you could win race shoes and autograph memorabilia, even if you aren't good at the game. One round in, and we already have some major holes in the field. Pro Circuit Kawasaki lost its top 2 dogs in the fight, with Austin Forkner and Cameron McAdoo both conceding their season just 2 motos in. Defending champion Dylan Ferrandis will miss considerable time with a thumb injury to his left hand. Rockstar Huskies Jalik Swoll will be a gate drop decision after his first lap crash in the opening moto of the season, as well as Joey Savacci at Monster Kawasaki, who is taking his return slow, coming back from an ACL injury. For this weekend, I have 3 guys to target, 1 to avoid, and a high handicap guy for you gamblers out there. Starting with a little class, working our way up. 250 All-Star, let's look at the last remaining perennial podium threat that Mitch has left, Joe Shimoda. The number 30 went 4-3 on the weekend for an overall podium, and a 4 handicap means a top 5 this weekend is all he needs. And he finished the last 24 motos in the top 5 55% of the time, and is the only All-Star in the class to finish within his current handicap over half the time in the last 24. A double point eligible rider to check out this weekend is Pierce Brown. I wanted him last week and didn't take him, kicked myself, but I am not mad to have him available to me this weekend. TLD Gas rider finished 7-7 on the weekend to see his handicap dip to a 2, but with Forkner out ahead of him, he could easily replicate last week's results, or, best case scenario, match his 2021 best and go 4-4 for 81 points out of a 2 handicap. Moving on to the 450s All-Star, I'm looking at Ryan Dungey. The wily veteran sports a 4 handicap and comes into the weekend off the back of a 5-5 weekend in his first outdoor national since 2016. It is safe to assume that he will only be getting better as the season rolls on, and this might be your last chance to get him with a handicap this high. The rider I want you to shy away from this weekend is true rookie Garrett Marchbanks. The PulpMX stud comes into Hangtown with a 3 handicap, and that simply does not leave enough value for a guy that makes so many questionable and silly mistakes as the 35. Even if he is able to match his very impressive 9-12 moto results this weekend, that would only net you 54 points, and that payload is not worth the roller coaster that is the man-child. The high handicap hero of the round given to a rider with a handicap of 10 or more that I think has a realistic chance to score massive points this weekend if you're the type of person that likes to sweat out a little LCQ for a big payout. In the 250 class, I have to look at Bar X Suzuki's Derek Drake. The former TLD KTM Phenom was on the cusp of a great day with a 15th place finish in the first moto before problems in the second made him miss double points, but that is precisely the reason that he is still a double-digit handicap. As they sit, he is the 16th lowest handicap, so if everyone finishes how they should, he could be looking at 60 points. But if he can be back up that 15th in the first moto of the year, and with 2 this week, that's 64 points. And how about matching last year's best finish of 14th? Do that twice, and you got yourself a cool 72. Moving on to the FFL, nothing really changed from last year. Even though Cooper looks a step off his contending pace, he still pulled the first moto wholly and led the first 4 laps. I expect him to get better as the season goes on, but although Jet went 0 for 2 last weekend, he was in second by the end of the first lap in both motos and warrants consideration in Hangtown this weekend. In the big class, it is all red up front. Ken Roczen took both motos and now has 11 of the last 26. So he's the obvious favorite here. I don't see any reason to pick anyone else unless you're trying to get cute already on just the second round of the season. More West Coast fare. MAV TV will have the pre-show available at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. RotoMoto Patreon supporters will have access to the enhanced cheat sheet as the second qualifiers finish, and the basic sheet will be available to the rest of players at around 3 p.m. Eastern, 1 hour before the first gauge drop. The weather is going to be rather cool as far as California tends to go, with a high of 79 as the second motos get underway. Lots of cloud cover, but it will stay dry all weekend to make for some incredible racing. Before I show you my early team, I want to talk to you about Maxxis Tire coming on for all 12 rounds so I can deliver these videos for you. You know Maxxis Tire. You know their MXST tire designed by the king of Supercross and my all-time favorite rider, Jimmy McGrath. It is the newest and most advanced tire in the Maxxis MX lineup, featuring an all-new tread pattern, compound, and composition to provide the stability, predictability, and traction that the upper tiers of motocross demand. The entire SGB Honda team runs Maxxis on their race bikes, including PulpMX show favorites and on-again, off-again rivals Alex Ray and Cade Clayson, available at your local retailer and also at motosport.com. PulpMX.com. My Thursday team looks like this. I have Joe Shimoda penciled in as my all-star for the weekend, Pierce Brown with a 2 handicap, high handicap hero Derek Drake, and rounding out the little squad with AEO KTM's Derek Kelly at a 10. 450 side, let's go Ryan Dungey with a 4. I'll also take Justin Barcia at a 1. Josh Gilbert with a 12 handicap, as well as privateer hero and all-around good guy Grant Harlan with a 15. The prize for the highest championship league score in Hangtown will be a race-worn jersey, but if you're not great at fantasy, that is okay. If you want a chance to win something like this limited edition Slayer-themed Robbie Wageman jersey, part of a Team Solitaire prize pack for the month of May, which includes a Rockwell watch and hat, Liat goggles, and beanie, as well as some of the best metal music courtesy of Nuclear Blast Records, consider joining me on Patreon. For just about $1 per week, you are entered to win race used and autographed memorabilia, and insiders and above double their entries, as well as an exclusive podcast talking fantasy stats on every rider in the field, and those enhanced cheat sheets that come out every single Saturday. Link for that will be in the description below. And don't forget to follow PulpMX Fantasy and RotoMoto on both Instagram and Twitter for injury updates as the weekend rolls on, qualifying info and stats and banner throughout the race itself, and those fantasy cheat sheets once qualifying is done and wrapped. Thanks as always for watching the PulpMX Fantasy Show, presented by Maxxis Tire. My name is Donnie, and may your chiz this weekend. Remember that 8 is great, and most importantly, have fun. Good luck, y'all.